Welcome back, you're watching 9 News. Now we have our TV9 host from Asia Focus, Julie Nixon, to talk about the Wimbledon crown eluding Murray.
Well, Wimbledon is done and dusted for another year, and of course congratulations to Serena Williams, who made the winners' podium once again to reinforce her position at the top of world tennis. But spare a thought for Andy Murray, the Brit who was trying to be the first Brit for 76 years to top the podium. It wasn't to be, and Federer from Switzerland took the honours. After a pretty tough match, Andy Murray took the first set. Roger Federer, after that, he started to get into control around about the third set when he broke Andy Murray's serve. So it wasn't to be, and Britain's still waiting for their first champion in 76 years. I mean, sport is a very tough game, isn't it? We saw that with the All Black final last year. It could have gone either way. We were successful in the end. Through sheer tenacity, I think the All Blacks won. But with Andy Murray and Wimbledon and tennis, it wasn't to be this year. When you look back at some of the greats and some of the great finals, the Borg-McEnroe final in the early 80s is the one that really stands out for me, when Bjorn Borg released basically the mantle, if you like, of being the top in the world to this young brash American John McEnroe, and of course he didn't win as many titles as Pete Sampras or in fact Roger Federer, but still it was a great match to watch. Really put tennis on the agenda for many people who want to watch sport and might watch tennis in preference to another sport. So once again, it's been a tough day at the office for Britain. They didn't really think they would win. I think a lot of people were interviewed before the game, didn't think that their man would win. It wasn't to be in the end. Feel sorry for him, but there's always next year.
Thank you, Julian. Moving on to our sports news. New Zealand's freestyle motocross rider Levi Sherwood continued his great form after winning the last X-Fighters round in Moscow, have finished top of the podium at the Swatch Free4Style events in Switzerland.
8 of the best FMX riders in the world took part in yesterday's contest. Each of the 8 competitors had only 90 seconds to present their tricks and figures in a bid to impress the judges. In front of thousands of spectators, New Zealand's best freestyle motocross rider Levi Sherwood turned in an incredibly impressive performance and took first place ahead of local star Matt Ribot and American Lance Corey. Petra Pilat from the Czech Republic, one of the favourites before the event, performed an accomplished combination consisting of backflip acrobatic jumps, which required extreme precision. The jump was executed impressively and handed him third place. Matt Ribot from Switzerland astonished the crowd of more than 4,000 with his soaring ride and grabbed second place with a high degree of difficulty and a perfect landing. However, the winner was Sherwood, the 21-year-old Kiwi star showing how to do it. He took the risks, but he secured the title with a superb Shaolin backflip jump and impeccable landing.
New Zealand's Michael Campbell has enjoyed his best week on the European Tour in almost 4 years. He finished with the final round 67 yesterday and secured his highest finish with a share of 11th in the French Open golf tournaments.
After narrowly making the second round cut at 3 over par, the 2005 US Open champion takes home 81,136 New Zealand dollars, which is about 5 times more than he has earned in the total year to date. At the manicured course at Versailles in France, Campbell was just 6 shots behind winner Marcel Siem. It is the best finish on tour for Campbell since placing third at the British Masters in September 2008. After the contest, Campbell told reporters that it has been a good week and I've taken a lot of positives away from the 4 rounds.
The US has finally settled on the 12th-strong basketball team for the London Olympics, which includes 5 members of the gold medal winning lineup from 2008's Beijing Games.
Blake Griffin, Andre Iguodala and James Harden were chosen last Saturday to complete the roster for the US team. USA basketball chairman Jerry Colangelo announced the final selections after 2 US team training sessions in Las Vegas. However, the final approval is still required from the US Olympic Committee. The Olympics' favourite basketball team will include 5 members of the gold medal winning team in Beijing. These are LeBron James, Kobe Bryant, Carmelo Anthony, Chris Paul, and Deron Williams. The US team has been hit by a recent rash of injuries to several leading candidates, including Derrick Rose of the Chicago Bulls, Dwight Howard of the Orlando Magic, and the Miami Heat players Dwayne Wade and Chris Bosh. Colangelo also confirmed that LeBron is going to headline the Dream Team. However, he is now the only player from the 2012 NBA champions, Miami Heat.
Red Bull's Mark Webber beats Ferrari's Fernando Alonso in a close battle to win the British Grand Prix.
Alonso led for much of the race from pole position, but Webber used a different tyre strategy, and in the chase for home with 4 laps to go, Webber passed Alonso and beat him to the flag. Alonso and Webber fought a private battle throughout the race, which finally came down to the rubber on the road. Ferrari chose to start Alonso on hard tyres, as McLaren did for Hamilton, while Red Bull went for the more conventional choice of softs. The decision meant that after the final pit stops, Alonso was on the soft tyre and Webber on the hards, which turned out to be the better race strategy. McLaren, who started the season with the fastest car, appeared to have been left behind by Red Bull and Ferrari, with Hamilton struggling to 8th place and teammate Jenson Button at 10th. Now Webber sits second in the championship with 13 points separating him from Alonso in top spot, followed by Webber's teammate and current champion, Sebastian Vettel, who is in third, 29 points behind Alonso.
Next up is the Tuesday economic reports presented to you by Christy Zhao.
House prices hit a record high in June, with the median reaching $372,000 in the latest REINZ data. The national median was up 3.2% from the same time last year, and the stratified median house price index, which adjusts for the mix in the types of houses sold, was up 5.3% from a year ago at the record high. Sales volume for the month also rose 17.3% from a year ago, making it the strongest June since 2007. The New Zealand dollar moved little overnight and starts the day at 79.6 US cents. The dollar will likely stay in a tight range with a negative drift as demand for its real yield is offset by Spanish yields back at around 7%. Weak Chinese trade data out today could also send the dollar lower. In China, inflation is falling fast and has been reported by authorities at 2.2% for June. That is a sharp dip from the rate of 3% in May and has China watchers talking deflation. Others also note that this may give room for China to embark on a new stimulus program. The Eurozone is fragmenting faster than the EU can act. Deposit flight from Spanish banks has been gaining pace, and it's not clear a Eurozone agreement to lend Madrid up to 100 billion euros in rescue funds will reverse the flows, as investors fear Spain may face a full sovereign bailout. Stocks on Wall Street fell to their lowest level this month as investors worried about Europe's continuing debt crisis and the outlook for corporate earnings. At the close this morning, the Dow Jones Industrial Average shed 36.18 points, or 0.3%, to 12,736.29, its third straight daily loss and the longest streak of decline since June 4th. The S&P 500 index gave up 0.2% to 1,352.46. The Nasdaq Composite lost 0.2% to 2,931.77.
Now moving on to our Happy Diner, introducing and reviewing your favourite restaurants in Auckland every day.
Enjoying exquisite fine dining food surrounded by beautiful music in a sophisticated and elegant environment, this restaurant will allow you to enjoy your meal at its best. Today we are thrilled to have the chef to recommend us one of his favorite dishes. In addition to green tea noodles, there's also crayfish, scallop, and prawns. I wonder how it tastes. An unique blend of traditional and contemporary cuisine, the green tea noodles are refreshing and chewy. The baked crayfish is rich and buttery, while the prawns are succulently delicious. And the kataifi wrapped scallop is crispy on the outside and tender on the inside. Lastly, drizzle with rich, creamy coconut laksa.
The green tea noodles complement with the coconut laksa soup is just amazing. It's very rich and creamy, yet the strange thing is that there is a note of refreshing taste to it.
My experience, I've travelled around the world, and we take experiences that we've had around the world, and I think it's coming back and finding ways to put that flavour into your food, or into the food. That's what I think is the most important thing, is cooking with passion and cooking with honesty.
Finally bringing you the weather forecast of the day. Thank you for watching today's 9 News. I'm Ada Cho. See you tomorrow.